Put your faith in the light.
Hello guys, welcome to another one of my videos. This is Lightblade. And well guys, in this one we finally have confirmation on how the Bronze Bullion system is going to be working. If you don't know, the Bronze Bullion system is a currency that you can get from doing raids to get raid gear from a vendor, which is really nice because some of that raid gear is kind of hard to get because of the very rare system that Blizzard implemented. So the Bronze Bullion system luckily is a lot simpler than the dinar system that we had in Shadowlands, where you could only get 3 dinars, so you could only buy 3 pieces of gear, and you also had to kill the bosses on the level of the item you wanted to get. So if you wanted a mythic item, you had to actually go and kill mythic bosses to upgrade that thing. So we don't have that anymore, and the Bronze Bullion is really simple. So now let's get into that. Okay, so the Bullion system is really simple. Like I said before, you basically will be getting one of them every single week by just killing awakened bosses. The cap will rise every week as well by 1, and if you miss a week of raiding, you will be able to catch up. There is a catch-up mechanism active. So let's say you miss the first week, the second week you will get 2 Bullions, which is just super nice for players that don't want to be like raiding every single week and maybe want to take some breaks. Okay, now that we know this, let's go into the game so I can give you guys a timeline on how you should spend your Bullions, my recommendations of items to get. Okay guys, we're in the game, and now that we know that we can get 1 Bullion every week, this means that every 2 weeks we're going to be able to get an upgrade guaranteed from these guys. So what's the biggest upgrade you can get on week 2? That's pretty simple. You're going to go here and you're going to buy your Scale of Awakening. This is going to allow you to upgrade your Virlat with your Flight Stones and Crests. So that's the biggest and most impactful upgrade you're going to be getting, because weapon DPS is incredibly powerful for Retribution Paladins. So next up, on week 4, what do you buy? So there's a really important ring that we have to get, which is the Seal of the Urna's Chosen. If you don't get this thing from just normally raiding, I highly recommend buying this ring, because it doesn't lose any stats for giving you the extra damage. It's just a really nice cantrip effect. It's really powerful. It's going to be 1 to 2% off your damage on Mythic Plus dungeons, and it's really powerful also in single target situations. And it's free damage. You don't lose anything on the ring for it. So yes, this would be your second buy on week 4. Okay, next up on week 6. Okay, so week 6 is going to be a bit more, you have more options, There's 2 really powerful trinkets I value a lot and could be really good contenders for this third buy. The first one is Call to Chaos. So if you want to go for a route of a Retribution Paladin that uses more of the Retribution damage itself, it just stat Retribution Paladin, you can get this thing. The other trinket that you can get week 6 is the Augury of Primal Flame. If you want to go for another Retribution Paladin route, the one that uses more external damage, you can get an Augury. It's really powerful as well. It does a bit better in single target situations than Call to Chaos, but Call to Chaos does a bit better in AoE situations because it just gives you flat stats. So yeah, it's the 2 trinkets that I would recommend buying on week 6. Okay, our week 8 buy. So it's going to depend on what trinket you bought on week 6. For example, if you bought the Call to Chaos trinket on week 6, I highly recommend on week 8, if you didn't get it already, get a Whispering Incarnate icon. So Call to Chaos just gives you flat strength. It really works well with other trinkets that just give you flat out stats. So in that regards, Whispering Icon is the best option of the trinkets in that department. The other ones are Chromatic Essence and Pips. Pips, the last trinket from Emerald. So Pips, Emerald, Friendship Badge is also pretty decent. But of the stats trinkets, I think Whispering Icon is the best. Now, if you went for the other route and you picked Augury, Augury of the Primal Flame, then you want to use a trinket that also just does damage. You press a button, you do damage, and I think the best option for to accompany the Augury is going to be your Grief Torch, because Grief Torch recently got a buff, making it a lot better than the other option of a just do damage trinket, because it allows you to move while you're channeling your Grief Torch, which is pretty important, because we already plant ourselves with our weapon when we use it. We don't want to plant ourselves when using the trinket as well. This also has 2 upsides, mainly that it has strength as its main stat. The other option only has secondary stats, and it also, when someone dies, you get a cooldown refresh on this thing, so you can use it more often. Normally you don't like to see deaths, but they happen. It's good that you can just press your button and just destroy something with Grief Torch. The other option, and the weaker that I was talking about, is the one that from Sarkeret, Beacon of the Beyond. It is still good, The problem with this thing is, like I said, it plants you for 2 seconds while you're doing this, and it only gives you mastery, which is okay, you know, but you already are getting, let's say, if you got augury, you already have a trinket that doesn't have main stat there, so you don't want to get 2 trinkets that don't give you main stat. That's why if you went with the augury route, Grief Torch would be a good 8-week buy. Okay, week 10. So this is the last recommendation I'm going to be giving to you guys, because after that, most of the things are going to be just luxury upgrades, you know. But of the most impactful ones that you can get is your Seal of Filial Duty. This thing is incredibly powerful. It's just a ring that gives you a shield whenever you do fire damage. As Paladins, we have a ton of sources of fire damage. Everything that says radiant damage on a Paladin is fire damage. Your weapon is fire damage. So this thing is going to be proccing all the time. So you're going to just have an extra shield to defend yourself on any raid or Mythic Plus encounters. And well guys, that's all for the video today. Those are my recommendations on what to buy from week 2 to week 10. I hope this helps, and if it does, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.